Welcome, replay viewers. Let me just turn this around. Does that work? Yes. Get you clipped on. All right. Hello. So first of all, I hope that you all had, a wonderful Christmas. Wait, let me adjust this. I'm thinking about, there we go. A wonderful Christmas. I've been away from Periscope for like 4 days, which is really strange, but it's been all holiday family time, and so it just hasn't been appropriate. But I've missed you all very, very much. Welcome to the Dana Cam. My name is Danica McKellar. I'm an actress, math book author, homeschooling mom, health nut, and Christmas lover. And if you think that anyone would enjoy this scope today, I'm going to be talking about New Year's resolutions and how the turkey turned out that a lot of you guys helped me with, and just Christmas in general. If any of you think that your friends or followers would enjoy that, please take a moment to share. For the next 30 seconds, I will give shout outs to people who are sharing. Thank you, Cozino, Jade Idlewolf, Brett Sism, John Kurosawa, Sarah Joy, John Kurosawa, Tony Minton, Tommy Parker, Min T8, Bobby Shantasu, Cheryl Frey, P Troop, Ms. Diana W. That Christmas was a wonderful taper. Thank you. Angel Summers, Hell's Minotaur, Real Cart Pusher, Joe 46, GL81, LVA Ho, and everybody else who is sharing. Thank you so much, everyone. So, first of all, a lot of you were with me 4 days ago as I was brining a turkey for the first time. And I'll just cut to the chase first off. It was great. It was so good. It was really, really tasty. So, and thank you to all of your help with it. That was my first time brining a turkey, and it was kind of nerve-wracking. I didn't know what I was doing. The most nerve-wracking part actually was taking the turkey out. But I will say that, so I brined it, for those of you who weren't watching, with salt, of course. And it was like a salt bath. It wasn't dry brining, which I learned about since that even exists. But it was salt, citrus. I had oranges and lemons from my backyard, and just the lemons, not the oranges. And what else was in there? Rosemary and thyme. So that was, yes, thank you, Linda, for reminding me. Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing. So that was all the stuff that I had in the brining solution. And what I kept seeing in comments, because I actually watched the Periscope back, which I don't usually do, but because there was so much good advice, I watched it back. And what I noticed, a lot of you said not to leave it brining in citrus for too long, because it would destroy the texture of the outside of the meat. So in the morning when I watched it, and I looked it up online too, and you guys were absolutely right. So what I did was, first thing in the morning, pretty early, I took it out of that solution. I kept the rosemary and the thyme, and I did a new solution of just salt, water, and the rosemary and thyme, and finished the brining for the rest of that whole day. That was Christmas Eve. No, that was Christmas Day. No, that was Christmas Eve, because then I put it, okay, so I finished that, just the salt, water, rosemary, and thyme, and then that day, the 24th, I put it in the oven at 400 degrees, that was my mom's advice, for 1 hour, then turned it down to 190 and left it overnight. So now Christmas Day, it just stayed on 190, and that's how you know that you're going to have a cooked turkey. And I had a thermometer, a meat thermometer in it to make sure it did reach 190, because that's for safety. Obviously for poultry, it needs to get to a certain temperature, and that's how you know how cooked it is. So I did that, and it turned out great. It was so yummy. We had 21 people here at the house. 21 people for sit-down dinner. Oh my goodness, we rented tables and chairs. I Instagrammed a picture of it, and the turkey was so great. And you know, the outside texture, like one time I noticed that it seemed a little bit mealy, just a teeny little bit, but it wasn't. I only noticed it once, and then the rest of it was great. It was probably just one section that was particularly next to a piece of orange or lemon that got that, but it was very minor. And thanks to all of you guys, it didn't stay in citrus for too long. I went back to just the salt. It was so tasty. The meat fell off the bones, and it had this orangey citrus feeling. Yes, Jean, I would do it again. It was so moist. It was so good. So anyway, it was a big hit, and I was so nervous to do it, and even just doing it with you guys there and giving me all your advice made a huge, huge difference to my Christmas. So thank you very much. It's nerve-wracking when you have 21 people coming to your house for Christmas night. You want it to go well. You want everybody to be happy. It was a fresh turkey. I mean, it was fresh from a store. I didn't go out and find it myself, but I got it from a place called Bel Campo, which is, it's a store in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica. They also have a restaurant. It's a butcher shop, restaurant, and then they have a farm up in Northern California where they raise all of their own stuff. They raise their own chickens. They have their own eggs. They have their own turkeys, cows, pigs, everything. So all the stuff, all the meat that I buy is all from this place called Bel Campo, which makes me feel much better about it because they have very humane policies there for how they treat the animals. And so I think that makes a difference. First of all, it's better for the animals. And then I think the energy translates into the food that we eat. You know, anyway, so it was great. And yes, my son had a wonderful day. And yes, I've been eating the leftovers for sure. Whatever he brought it in a bag, right, I did not put it in the bag. I put it in a pot. And then what I did was I covered it. Yeah, I left this part out. I covered it with the bag. Bragger, it's thanks to you guys, Dean. It's thanks to you guys that it worked out so well. So I covered it in the bag, so it's just a little bit of the turkey sticking out of the solution, not getting brined. So in the morning, when I did the just salt water solution, I turned the whole thing upside down so that now the other side was getting completely brined. That's how I did it. Leftovers have been great. So I did the turkey, and I did a leg of lamb that I didn't get a chance to have you guys watch because I just had to do it quickly and I didn't have a chance to set everything up. And I had people in the kitchen anyway, friends and family and people around. But I cut holes in the turkey and in the leg of lamb, and also the lamb was from Bel Campo. I stuck garlic in there, little pieces of garlic all throughout the leg of lamb, and then did the same type of thing where I cooked it on high. It was either 400 or 450 for an hour, and then turn it down to, I think it was 160 for the rest of the day, that overnight and the next day, and it was really, really good. I will say the turkey turned out even better than the lamb did, and that's probably because I meant to do it at 140, but apparently my oven doesn't go down that low, and so I probably should have cooked it for a shorter amount of time, but I want it to be nice and fresh to serve. Anyway, oh hey Mom! My mom was a huge help. I haven't gotten to that part of the story, but, well, I did tell you that she told me how hot to put the oven. She made the gravy, which was huge because I had no idea how to do that. And I see her in there with, like, skimming stuff off the surface and going through all this work to do it, and it turned out great. I've been having the gravy as part of the leftovers for sure. We made mashed potatoes, huge amount of mashed potatoes, with no dairy, no butter, and it was so good. What was the secret? Garlic. I found a recipe online for garlic mashed potatoes. It was garlic and chicken broth and salt and pepper. I think that was it. And I left the skins on. I used Yukon Gold potatoes, so not just regular potatoes, but the Yukon Golds, which have more flavor. And had a lot of help with the mashing. Scott's dad did a lot of